Clarity is the key. So we need to be perfectly clear on what it is we want in order for the universe to deliver it to us. So I have this property that I have not been very clear on. In other words, I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I didn't know if I wanted to keep it and fix it, put a business in there, fix it and retail it, just wholesale it off, get rid of it. I just wasn't sure, and I have a lender on it, and the lender told me, 3 or 4 weeks ago. He said, "I don't care what you do, just let me know. I'm not in a hurry." Well, I said, "Okay." Then and now what that did was kept me in like uncertainty mode. I still don't know, but an interesting thing happened 3 days ago. Let me see, what is this, Wednesday? Well, Sunday or Monday. Monday. So Monday, we're talking, and he said, "You know what? I want my money back. What are you doing? Why are you sitting on this thing? I don't understand. You got this offer." And I did counter that offer, and I said, "Well, I don't know if that's going to go through. I think it might be dead." He said, "Why did you counter it?" Because that's what I didn't answer him, but that's what I do. It's the way I operate. He would not understand, so I didn't bother to answer him. What's the point? He still wouldn't understand it. So anyway, so all of a sudden, I got clear. I got perfectly clear on what I was going to do with that property. I was going to sell it. And so yesterday, which was Tuesday, now Monday, is when we talked. No, it wasn't Monday. It was Sunday when we talked. It was, Monday I was traveling. Tuesday comes along, and the property in question comes back with a counter to my counter, which is a higher offer than they had given, and there was a deadline on it to sign it yesterday. So I signed it yesterday. I was perfectly clear. Now the universe now knew what I wanted without a doubt, right? So, bam, just like that. And in, I don't know, 36 hours, 48 hours, it gave me what I needed, what I wanted, just like I signed it. And so now that is feedback for me, really. And always I'm looking for feedback. What's the reason that this hasn't happened? So the reason is because there's something in here that I'm not clear on, or that I don't believe, or my thoughts and my feelings and my emotions are not matching up. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. There is a time between the thought, the feeling, and the manifestation, if you will. I don't even want to call it a manifestation. I think I'd rather call it a realization that there it is. It's already in existence. It's created. It was created before I asked for it. All things must be in existence if there's no time. Now I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know if it's bam, it's really there as soon as we think of it, but in no time, or it's already there. I don't know. I don't have that perspective at the moment, and so it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because what matters is I need to have this and this lined up. This feeling, this, and sometimes we call it emotion, but I think I like the word feeling better. In other words, how does it feel to be in clarity? How does it feel to be wealthy and not concerned about money? How does it feel to have any relationship that you wish? How does it feel to be healthy? and feel young at whatever age, chronological age you are. That doesn't matter. Chronological, I get it. Chronological age doesn't matter. It's just an idea. I love it when Bashar starts off every sentence. Well, the idea is this, and the idea is that. So, what's your idea? Are you buying into the narrative, the mainstream? The Maybe it's even the contracts that you've signed before showing up here, that we've all signed. I just happen to have a belief. Okay, we signed those contracts, but let's get some more contracts out and start signing those. And so I'm thinking, I'm going to go with it doesn't matter what we thought before, it only matters what we're thinking now, right this minute. So I'm signing new contracts constantly, and I'm looking in here thinking, what are the beliefs? What are the thoughts? Is this thought lining up with that? And the feedback is right there. It's all right there. Just look out there. What's going on? Are things happening the way you want? Some are and some aren't. And so now you're a doer. That's what's important. You're doing it. And what I mean by doing it is I don't mean getting out there and making it happen. I just did 5 shorts on it. Maybe you've seen a few of them before I post this one. Usually I'll sit down and do 3, 4, 5, or 10 shorts and one longer. This is my longer one. And so it kind of bounces off what I was, thinking about and where I am at the moment. So, by the way, subscribe, like, comment. I love the comments. Give me comments. So now I'm gonna tangent off of this for a minute. I have a client, and she's so excited about what happened after our last session that she wants to do a Zoom call with me and talk about all the changes that she has seen. And really, I reminded her that, look, it's not me, it's just you talking to you, because it's all one thing, it's all one mind. It's the frequency variations that you're choosing at any one moment that will reveal to you that which you are. And so, by the way, if you want to become a client, message me and we'll talk about it. I don't have programs that I'm actually posting out there. I will at some point, as soon as somebody comes along and says, hey, Steve, here's what we need to do, make this happen. And I'm all for it. And I know how to do it, I haven't done it. I'm working on bigger stuff right now. And by the way, that's one thing that you might want to look at. Do you think you're stuck in a rut in some way, whether it's in your physical health or your relationships or your money? Are you stuck in a rut? And is it because you are continuing to think the same things? Well, yeah, probably. That's probably what it is. If you stretch, what's possible and then get lined up with it, that's the hard part. Lining up with, maybe you're going from here to way out there. Maybe that's too far of a leap for you. Maybe you need to go from here to there to line up with that first and create a belief bridge, as I call them, because my whole thing is it's about belief. So now we need belief bridges to go from this quantum to that quantum, from this universe to that universe. We don't need to learn how to do that. I've told you that over and over again. We're doing it. So the only thing we need to do is monitor the frequency and the feeling and the thought make sure all that stuff's matching up, and then we'll start to see what we want to see. And then we have to accept that we have the power, that we are amazingly powerful, so powerful we can't imagine how powerful we are. And then, honestly, that doesn't matter either. The best response I ever heard was someone telling, probably I'm getting a little mixed up, but the new generation that's coming in that is probably third or fourth or fifth light seed coming onto the planet to help raise our vibration. Someone said to them, everything you see and everything that's out there is just an illusion. And I think this is the most awesome, the most enlightening response I have ever heard. And it was, yeah, so. That's it. So, yeah, so what? Deal with it. Yeah, it is. It's an illusion. But it's for the entertainment, it's for the fun. And so what? It's an illusion. But here we are. We're in it. We might as well take advantage of it and do as much as we can with it. And I've often asked, what's the point, if it's an illusion? Well, I'm kind of getting the sense that the point is to figure out, number one, that it is an illusion, number two, that we are powerful, and number three, that we can change our frequencies, and as a result, we will get a new reality, quote unquote reality, a new illusion from the internal now that's the real internal reality, imagination, which is the real reality. And then I start to wonder, okay, once we bounce out of this illusion and we look and we say, oh, I was just asleep, that was just an illusion. Now the question is, if we wake up, do we wake up to a new illusion? Are we in another illusion? Or are we in what I would call fully awakened state to what is real? I don't know, and I kind of doubt it. I bet you there are layers upon layers of illusion. So otherwise, if we wake up completely, then what's the game? Well, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to wake up and find out. So I hope this has been helpful. I've enjoyed talking about it. Like, subscribe, comment, engage. I like I said, I do this for me, but it is like, it's like having, I'm talking to myself, but I'd kind of like to hear what I have to say. And that means from you about what I've just said. I'm talking to myself, so, answer me, self. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this again. Thanks. See you next time.